Hi everybody. So, oh, you're fine. It's facing me. So, these have been some really interesting days, and I have been challenged by a bit of emotion around the upcoming election. And I did a post a couple of days ago. I did a video about focus, and I'm going to sit over here for a second instead of walking. I did a post about focus, and I did, about focus and what's at stake in the upcoming election. And I just want to encourage people to really think about what's at stake with this election. Because the prospect of, I'm not a party line girl. I think outside the box. I don't necessarily believe that you have to follow one particular. No one's path is right or wrong. It's just everybody's path is their own. But there are certain things that we share, and there are certain things that are true to human nature and to common decency and to unity. And there's things that stand against that, and I think that it's very clear in this election that there are a lot of things at stake. I've never been this concerned overall about the future of our country, and specifically for people of color, for women, for all the marginalized groups and minorities. There's always been challenges, but I was just having a conversation with a couple of people, and I've never thought that. I'm optimistic. I've always been optimistic, and I will continue to choose to be that way. But living the way, living my lifetime, I never anticipated having a black person in the White House. So I was very thrilled and excited that is something that has occurred. There's been a lot of struggle there. There's been a lot of opposition. There's been a lot of shutting down of the country and not doing jobs that people are required to do, that were elected to do, because they were in complete and total opposition of someone who's in the White House. That needs to stop. We need to find a way to move together and to move forward together. And the fish rots at the head. So if you have somebody that is vying for that position of leadership that is not committed to everybody having a place and everybody having a say, and is not committed to the unity that we all need, then how do you expect us all to move forward in peace and prosperity and love, in unity? I love everybody. I have not defriended anyone from my page, despite what your personal views are. And I think that, the only way that people are going to understand and grow together is by listening to one another and coming together. Focus is a great part of that. And I think that fear drives a lot of people, And so I'm not committed to living in fear, and I'm not committed to, regardless of how this all turns out, I'm not going to live my life in fear. And I encourage everyone to move in that direction, and to not allow themselves to be so fearful that they stop doing the things in life that they know they need to do. And it can be challenging, like I've been really hard pressed to keep myself in high spirits throughout this whole process, throughout this whole election. It's just been horrible. And the things that have been said about people like me, be it black people, be it women, be it, people that I love. I have people who are friends and family who are Muslim. I have people who are friends and family who are LGBTQ. I have I have a kaleidoscope of people in my inner circle, in my deep inner circle, in my broader circle that I love and care about. So I'm asking all of you to get out, to stand up for what you know in your heart is right, to stand in love and not divisiveness, to stand in unity and respect, to stand for human decency, to stand for empathy. I can't believe that we actually have someone that's running for president who is backed by the KKK. How did we get here? That is crazy to me. Never thinking, it's one thing to think that I'd never see a sitting black president. It's another thing to think that I would live to see someone going for the highest office in the land that is actively supported by a hate group that doesn't denounce it, and that throughout his campaign has fueled the fire of that. And I think it's disingenuous for people to to refuse to recognize that, because it's a refusal at this point. You're choosing not to recognize it. And there's concerns on both sides, but there's someone who's actually willing to have conversations and entertain other people's thoughts and opinions and desires as we move forward. And then there's someone who doesn't care about that. They just want to push their own agenda, and their agenda, for the grand scheme of people, not so great. It really is about them. It's not about anybody but them. And even for the people who look like the party of this candidate, that think they align themselves with them, like visually, aren't on that team, he doesn't care about you either. He doesn't care. The words coming out of his mouth, his actions, his history of discrimination and of not paying people that he's contracted in good faith to do work for them. And, all this is all good business. That's how he's going to run the White House. So why do you think that it's going to be any different with you? Please, please, please don't be blinded by this charlatan. Just please don't. Please stand up, and focus on what it is that you desire, how you'd like to see the country move forward together. And what you can do, because you can do something. You think that you can't, but you can. Every vote matters. Why do you think there's so many political ads out there vying for our vote? But people want to say, well, my vote doesn't matter. Well, yes, it does, because if it didn't matter, they wouldn't be spending all this cash trying to get you to their team. Decide whose team you're on. Look in the faces of the people that you love and decide, are you going to stand with them or against them? Please get out and vote. Please, please get out and vote. Get everyone in your family, everyone in everyone in your on your team, in your community, and in your life, to get out and vote. I'm actually going down the street to do some calling, to tell people, to encourage people to vote, to advise them of, where their polling places are, make sure that they know where their polling places are, make sure that they know that there are people that they can reach out to if they have an issue getting to and from the polls. And don't let anybody intimidate you. I've heard stories of, people being at polls, and I think they're putting things in places so people are not intimidated as they make their way into the polls tomorrow. Hopefully a lot of you have voted early. For those that you haven't, please do not be dissuaded. Make the time, take this opportunity, stand up, use your voice, and vote. Please. That's all I got. That's all I got. And I love you. I love you all, each and every one of you. Please get out, vote. It is very imperative that we turn this thing around. I love you.